So in this video we're going to start reloading rifle rounds. There is a little difference between rifle and handgun reloading. When we get to those differences I will point them out. And this batch of 223s that we're working on today, they are going to be a little bit more precise than bulk ammo, but less than bench. Keeping that in mind, the first thing I'm going to do, instead of cleaning the brass, is I'm going to lube the brass. You do want to make sure you get all four sides. Do remember, it's cheaper buying lube than it is buying new die sets. So don't be stingy. So again, we have our resizer and deep primer and our shell case holder. If you do not know how to properly size them, go back to the first video on handgun reloading and it will show you there. Let me finish all this up and we'll go to the next step. After we finished resizing and depriming on the brass, we will need to clean the die. The reason is because we did not clean our brass to start with. Just clean this with your normal gun cleaner and oil it down. Next we're going to clean the brass. I'm going to use the ultrasonic cleaner to do this. If you don't have one, you can use the tumbler. Just note that you will need the pocket primer cleaner to clean out the pocket primer. With the ultrasonic cleaner, first I'm going to pour in some hot water. Then I'm going to take the cleaning solution and pour that in. Next, take the brass. Finally, I'm going to finish it off. Temperature control to heat it up. And turn it on. So, it's just finished up for the first time. Let's take a look. As you can see, the water is pretty dirty now. Brass is still not completely done, so we will run it again. Just note, I normally run it 3 to 4 times. A thing to note, if you're reloading new brass, depending on the brass and the quality of it, you'll need to deburr the primer pocket hole. So they'll drill through it and there's little burrs on the inside. You'll need to slide that, and this one will poke through the end. And you'll deburr it. And there's the little burrs that came off of that. That will ensure a unified powder ignition. Next step in the process is trimming your brass. deburr. Chamfer. I'll continue on. Now, since we finished trimming the brass, you can either start priming the brass, or you can tumble it at this time if you want the shiny new look. Next, we have to prime our brass. So we're using the small Rilfe primers and the RCBS primer. Okay. What you do, and that you can notice that there's some flipped in the wrong direction. Just shake. Most of them will be flipped over, and then you can just flip the couple that needs to be clear at that center, so this can slide right in. The lid can slide right in. Check to make sure none of them flipped over. With the RCBS hand primer, you do not need a shell holder. And then just squeeze. Have a consistent squeeze. There we go. I'll continue with the rest. Now, since they're all primed, resized, we are going to drop a powder charge. This is set for 23 grains. I'll continue on, and then we'll go to the next step. Now you want to check to make sure that each one has correct powder charge, not doubled or you missed one, and check around the brass to make sure you didn't have any spills. I'm using a 55 grain. I'll complete these and we'll move to the next step. The last step we're going to do is we're going to add a crimp to these. You have to buy this die separate. This is just a Lee crimping die. What you do is you raise the brass all the way up, screw this down until you can feel it tighten on the brass. Once that is done, you lower it, give it a full twist, and what you're looking for is just a crimp right at the very top. It's kind of difficult to see. You can see that it's rolled in right there. You will not need a crimp for all your calibers. I'm placing a crimp on these because they're for a semi-automatic AR.